Wenjun in a similar story. Both cases, those matchups went to Armageddon, and in both cases, the higher-rated player won when they were on the white side. Will Hikaru and Anna reverse their fortunes today? I can't wait to find out.
This is definitely going to be the main storyline of the day. Also, speaking of their ranking in the tournament, Hikaru overtook Fabiano on the world ranking on the live rating. So this is literally the world #1, Magnus Carlsen with the black pieces against the world #2.
At the moment, a bit quieter. Looks like this is where the action is at. We see a question mark on this last move.
We've arrived just in the right moment, it seems. But also the computer was critical of bishop g5, which I did not understand why the engine didn't like that move. Seemed like a normal developing move, pinning the f6 knight a move ago by Fabiano. I think sometimes the engine goes a bit, I don't know, subjective? If you can call an engine subjective.
Well, it could also be the depth is maybe not as deep. The depth is not as deep as what these guys have at home. And I wonder if the computer was suggesting g5 or something to try to get a piece. And if that was the case, I would guess it's just the computer not fully understanding the position at this depth versus the superjet engines that the computers are bringing it home.
And the superjet edges that these players are. Fabiano himself proved it here in the studio that he can easily outplay our engines. So that's probably what's happening, Danny. I think you are right that these aren't question mark moves unless g6. David, how do you feel about g6? That's a bit more awkward than bishop to g5.
Yeah, definitely looks a bit awkward for black. Maybe we just do a quick rewind. You mentioned that bishop g5 move. It was a very typical Italian game type of position. Some slow maneuvering. Just a couple of things to point out that are different from that other clash between Praggnanandhaa and Liren. Firstly, here white has re-maneuvered his knight over to g3 before castling. So white is technically a bit ahead in terms of where he wants his pieces, but obviously lacking the move castles here does mean that tactics might not work in white's favour, but he used the extra time after black retreated bishop a7. A very brave move, I've got to say. h6 might be chosen by kind of more solid players here, but bishop a7 does really tempt white into playing the move bishop g5, and this is where the big question lies after white retreats. I agree, by the way, Anna, bishop g5, a really natural move. g5 here really shows the strength of the white knight on g3. I think this is just, you don't hesitate, you sacrifice, you pretty much have to actually at this point, and this is in an unbreakable pin. Knight h5 is going to come to overwhelm the pinned knight on f6. White's queen is going to jump out to f3 as well. This just looks like game over. I don't see any tactics that work in black's favour, and Firouzja needed to avoid this idea of knight h5, so I totally understand why he's played g6 in this position. Knight h5, a bit of a threat on the board. Not sure what was stronger, simply. Really hard to work out. It looked like a priority to stop this move.
I'm curious, what was bishop g5's problem? If we back up, I don't know what else the computer suggested, but just to try to understand where this game is going and or what preparation the players might have, because that move seems so natural. It's the move you would teach every beginner player to play, is to pin the knight on f6 to the queen and invite tactics on the king side. When you've brought both of the white knights to f3 and g3, you are primed for action over there. And so what was the move that Alireza slides right back to H8 and puts pressure there. But under a minute now, man oh man, Firouzja gonna get himself under time pressure. We've seen this backfire.
We've seen him crack several times under time pressure, Danny, as you mentioned, both in Classical and in Armageddon. Meanwhile, I love what Anna Muzichuk is doing, I've got to say. I think she's really asking questions at the right moment before it's too late. White's rook now on the right side of our screens is finally entering the black camp. Can Wenjun fend off all the threats? But here comes Firouzja's knight. Despite the fact he's low on time, it feels like his position might be easier to play, Anna. Big threat on the board.
I think so too, and if we recall the previous encounter in Armageddon, where Fabiano was completely winning on the board and on the clock, this is not winning, and he has some more time, but the increment is kicking in, so I think Firouzja does have good chances here to pose very difficult questions to Fabi.
I don't know. I'm kind of feeling the opposite. I feel like getting under a minute was a big sign. He's going to get 10 seconds back, but I feel like this position is less easy to play than it was before. If you just objectively evaluate what Black has here compared to what he had 10 or 15 moves ago, it's like not any better at all. And now Fabiano has a choice. He might be considering even taking with the king and then threatening king to c5. Initially, when d4 was offered, I was sure you would recapture with the pawn the moment this happened, but now I'm not so sure. Okay, looks like he did take with the pawn. I wonder what he calculated there. Ultimately chooses not to go for it. Probably made the right decision.
King of the hill, I loved it, Danny, but instead he's going the other way with the white king. He's trying to use the white king to shepherd all of white's pawns, this massive pawns on the king side in the center. Will they surpass the black knight potentially? Yet to be seen, but Fabi playing active defense there. And in the meantime, Anna Muzichuk still struggling to break the defenses of her opponent, both sides down around the minute mark now. It's going to be a race against the clock.
By the way, in the meantime, have to make a shout out that unfortunately for Vaishali Rameshbabu, she has lost her second classical chess game in a row after going down yesterday to world champion Wenjun. So we're going to unpack what happened in the final moments there between the country women from India, but ultimately the more experienced player, Humpy Canero, gets the job done, which again was a dish served cold called revenge, given that Vaishali beat Humpy Canero in classical when they played in round 2. So much to unpack. Don't worry, we're going to show you what happened in that game, but right now we've got so much drama on the board. Fabiano Caruana with a bunch of pawns for a piece against Alireza Firouzja and Armageddon action on the right side.
Wow, that Armageddon is really complicated now. Suddenly there's all sorts of king and pawn endgames that might arise, and it's tough for Anna Muzichuk to even keep the pieces on the board. But the clock, Anna, it looks like that might be the decisive factor. This is the closest Wenjun's been run in any Armageddon so far this tournament.
Very true, and a reminder that the increment in Armageddon is only 1 second, which over the board chess, in over the board chess, it's actually nothing.
I mean, it wasn't enough for Magnus Carlsen not to flag.
It wasn't enough for Magnus.
Wait.
Is Fabiano claiming...
Wait, they just repeated?
Threefold repetition.
Okay, well, slightly climactic because the other game that was ongoing also just ended in a draw.
Wow.
Lei Ting Jie drew her game as well. Okay, sorry, we're getting the final analysis here by these two.